Okay, so there's a few things that I want to discuss. As someone mentioned something about crook face, what I noticed is that I must have had a crook face at some point in this whole beginning of this. But as you continue the sun gaze, it corrects it, and the biggest thing that causes is it aluminum. So you have people who are bathing in fluoride, people who are getting sprayed overhead with sodium fluoride in the cocktail that's in the nanotech. There's sodium fluoride in that too. Also, you can see that on the military pictures that they have on their aircraft carriers of these drones that fly off with the fucking stuff off these aircraft carriers right out the ocean and stuff. So they had a bunch of fluoride going into it too. But anywho, what you'll find noticeable amongst the people who have those traits are mostly MK Ultra people who have the saggy eye because they've got their master plan in them, and then you've got people who are amongst the masses who have a crook face from just being compliant with the consumption. Like I don't shower in regular fluoride showers. I got special water for my bathing. Anytime I smell, I always wash up with a natural water source. So it's very important that you go out of your way to make sure that you're doing something about your issue. Like my rubber soles, I wear wood shoes now. I don't wear I don't wear rubber shoes anymore, and it's a huge change. Like you feel like there's electrical current going from the ground up into you, and get used to it. After a while, you don't feel it, but if you do away with it, you just feel like, hey man, I need my vitamins or whatever have you. So that's just the way I see it, and I notice a lot of kids that get vaccines, they come out with a crook face too. So but watch this. This guy here, he has a little bit of a crook face that I can see still, just because he's really probably some Mason actor dude that probably has MK Ultra anyway. But they're showing you something significant about this dude's face, and you'll even notice that they're specifically telling you that he had a crook face when you look at the old Charlie Gordon. Check this out. Look at his mouth.
Shoes and gloves. You wear them.
Yeah, that's right. Morning, afternoon. Charlie, you don't have to worry about passing or failing, not these tests.
Very interesting. See, he's got a super crook face in this. So this is like a perfect example that
Morning.
it's so subtle though. It's so subtle that you don't even notice unless you're really like, like in tune with I guess like anatomy of the face or whatever. But I can see clear as day that this dude's got a crook face here, and now as he's gone under his surgery with the big light, right? So that's all. He was in a room with doctors in the movie. That's for the layman. But for the telepathic smart people, we know that that's the divine feminine, right? He ends up sleeping with her. He becomes intimate with her. She pops up out of nowhere all the time. She gets him to expand his mind. And when she's maxed the thing, they blaspheme the whole thing. Instead of him becoming something that emerges to the next level, he digresses back and he becomes dumb again, which is not something that happens. And and then another thing, the new Charlie Gordon. This is a Clarity movie that was called Flowers for Algernon later, but the new remake of Flowers for Algernon that came out in the '90s shows that he was looking for a light far off in the distance, far from reach, is what he says. If you watch that uh, Flowers for Algernon, you'll see that he's trying to get to the sun. So you know, don't listen to anybody that tells you different. Sun gazing is it. Sun gazing amongst the people that know while you're breathing and doing it, it is an immense amount of energy that is so extreme that it'll make you like fucking like you just freak out. Like it just burns into you and it's just super intense. Like you could piss fire and you feel like you could smash bricks and shit like after a while. Like it's really amazing. So the sun illuminates the brain, gets the mind right, and then the body follows. And that's exactly what's happening with these super beings.
Afternoon.
It's got that crook face. Look. Woo.
It's a very funny face, Charlie.
and his face is perfectly straight, and he's just like, what the hell is this nonsense? Who is that guy? You know what I mean?
That was Charlie Gordon then. Ladies and gentlemen.
I'm pretty sure, and you feel it. Like, you feel, if you just threw caution to the wind, before you, like, get a leg up in your thresholds, like, if you get, like, these semi-pro feelings where it just cracks and you go up to this different thresholds, you don't really go back into a lower subconscious. But if you're in the beginning stages and you're going up and down in and out of your subconscious stage, that knows, and the one that cries and feels like something's wrong, and you just start crying for no reason. You're like, why am I crying? Like, people get that response all the time, right when the awareness starts kicking in. But I'm telling you, I don't think. When I look in the mirror now, I don't know that I used to have a crook face, but I'm sure that I did, because I felt like I felt like the Charlie Gordon guy. I felt like I was kind of, ignorant. But when you become more, you can see back in yourself, in your mind, but your face is already different. And when you were ignorant, you didn't see that you had a crook face because you were too ignorant to notice. So that's just pretty much what I noticed, is that the sun recalibrates the brain and your face straightens itself out from a crook face to a regular, optimized, calibrated, recalibrated being. And that's what this movie's telling you. He had a light machine that they were testing his vision with, and it was black and it had a red and white light inside. So they're telling you that you just gotta go to the sun and then get to the divine feminine. That's basically all they're saying in this movie here. And stay in the light. Once you get in the light, stay in the light. And you will always be progressing forward, and you will always be in a good place, and you're always one leg into the future.